In this video we are going to see vegetative propagation. So what is vegetative propagation? Actually normally the plants are able to give seeds through sexual reproduction. So male gametes will be produced and female gametes are produced. So from that, after fertilization the gametes are fused and finally seeds are formed. That seeds, when we sow into the soil, new plants are arising from that sown seeds. But here, coming to the vegetative propagation, if the propagation happens with the vegetative parts of the plant, then such type of propagation is called vegetative propagation. So what are the vegetative parts of a plant? What are the vegetative parts of the plant? If we see, stem, leaf and roots, means other than flower. So here we have to see flower does not help in propagation. So if flower helps, it becomes an sexual reproduction in plants. So other than flower, what are the vegetative parts? Stem, leaf and roots. If propagation happens through these parts, such type of propagation is called vegetative propagation. So coming to this vegetative propagation, we will see first the example with leaf. Leaves, if we see, the example is bryophyllum. So here the bryophyllum leaf, it is like this. So the leaf will be having, and if you see at this junctions, small root like structures you can see. So these roots, and see here also you can see roots and small leaflets. So like that, every part of the every junction of the leaf, it happens like that. If this part we cut and if we sow in soil, this will be growing into a new plant. So that a best example is bryophyllum, and it is a leaf propagation. Coming to the stem propagation, many of the stems are there. Here stems, the propagation is also named like this: the stolons, the bulbs, corms, tubers and rhizome. Stolons are jasmine and strawberry. See stems, what happens if weaker stems are there? Suppose you imagine that this is the soil where root system is there and stems are there, the leaves are here. If you see jasmine like that, so if any weaker stem, it touches with the soil. So what happens here? Some adventitious roots are formed and new leaflets are also formed. And if we cut the connection with the parent plant, then this small plant also becomes a new plant. So here in stem cuttings, stem propagation, what happens? The weaker stems will be having connection with the soil such that adventitious roots are formed, and it will be formed into a new plant. So that is a stem propagation. And for example, we can see stolons, the strawberries and jasmine, they come under stolons, and onion, we call it as a bulb, and even colocasia, it comes under corms, and potato is a modified tuber. So it is underground modified tuber. So it also comes as it is a stem part, it comes under the stem propagation. And even rhizome, means ginger is the example. Ginger is also example for stem. Now coming to the third one, we completed leaf, we completed stem, the root propagation. These three examples we can see. Carrots, we know they come from the root part. Radish, we know, and some types of flowers like dahlia, all also dahlia. So through root propagation, it can be formed into a new plant. So these are all the examples for vegetative propagation. Now we will see what is artificial propagation. Up to now we have discussed natural propagation. So natural propagation happens through the vegetative parts of a plant such as stem, leaf, fruits. Okay. Now we will see artificial propagation. Artificial propagation means man-made propagation, means we cut the plant and we place into other place and it grows into a new plant, like that. What are the types in artificial propagations, that we will see now. artificial propagation. So in this propagation, we make that propagation. So artificially as it is formed, it is called artificial propagation. In that we are going to see cutting, layering and grafting. So coming to cutting here we can see rose as a best example for artificial propagation. Rose and hibiscus also we will see here. Rose and hibiscus. See, for rose and hibiscus, here the farmer will cut that mature stems and he will be sowing in the soil. So from the mature stems, new leaflets will come and rootlings will come, and finally that mature stem cut part will be grown into a new plant. So here the example, rose and hibiscus. Coming to layering nothing but it is also similar to cutting. So what happens means, how it happens in a natural propagation of vegetative propagation. In the stem, the weaker stems are when they come contact with the soil, new adventitious roots are grown and it grows into a new plant. In the same manner, here in layering, the farmer itself takes the weaker stems and he by himself, suppose a nerium we see here example. So suppose if you see here, this is a plant, these are the roots, the soil, stems are there, and this is the leaf part. If you think stems with leaf, so one of the stem which is nearer to the soil, the farmer by himself he will place in contact with the soil, and here the stem is contact with the soil. So this is all soil we can say. So this is the stem. So here he keeps a weight such that that stem doesn't move. So after few days he will be watering that area. After few days what we can observe, small root structures, root hairs will be arising from here, and even leaflets also arise, and it grows into a plant, and afterwards he cut the connection with the parent plant. So it grows into a new plant. So this type of method is called cutting. Sorry, it is called layering. Example is nerium. So coming to the grafting, here it is very important now in the technology, as the technology is improved. So most of the farmers, they are using this grafting method. So in this grafting, desirable characters we can get. Suppose if we want hybrid varieties of flowers and hybrid varieties of fruits, taster fruits means sweet fruits, bigger size fruits, like that, all what we want, the desirable characters we can get from grafting, but it has to be belonging to the same species. The fruit whatever he wants to be grafting, or the type whatever he wants to be grafting, must be belonging to the same species. Suppose an apple he want to do, a small suppose you think plant A is there, plant B is there, an apple plant. Plant A, it is small in size. If you see size, plant A is small, plant B is bigger, you think in the size it is big. And if you see in the taste, if you compare both with the taste, plant A is sweeter or sweet taste it has, and plant B is somewhat normal sour taste, you think. Now our desirable character is we want bigger fruit with the sweet taste. So how we can get that type of variety? By grafting method. So we now here the farmer will be mixing B plant with A. So how he mixes means, you see here in grafting, these two plants are cut and they are united, and at the united place a new plant is grown and the characters are transferred to the new plant. So we will see now. So here we have two stems, the scion we call, the stalk we call. So always stalk is the stem part which is attached to the roots, and scion is the stem part which is coming from the cut part of the other plant. So that we have to remember. So if we see the diagram first, simply. So this is a plant. So we'll see the trunk must be for any type of fruit plant. It has a big trunk, no? So the trunk part is there. These are the branches, you think. So for this stem part, we are doing grafting. So here the stem is which is here. This part we have to cut into V shape. So this is the stem, you think, and this is the trunk. So this is the stem. So the stem which is cut into V shape, it is called stalk. So this is one plant. From another plant, another stem cutting we have to bring and we have to unite here. So that other plant stem cutting it has, or it must be cut in the shape of an arrow. So this is arrow shape, no? So this will be brought here and it has to be attached here. So some mud is poured on this area, and with a polythene bag and a wire it has to be binded. So this is the scion. So after binding with a wire or a small thread rope, now and then the farmer have to sprinkle water. After few days, if you see, new roots arises from here and new leaflets also arises. So we can draw with other colors so that we can see clearly. So this is a small root heads rising out, and from here you can see even the leaflets also come. So we can separate now from the stalk. If the farmer cut here from the parent plant, this new plant is separated, and if sow in soil, it will be grown into a new plant. But what are the characters here? The characters from the stalk will be transferred, the characters from the scion will be transferred. So whatever we decide, those characters will be coming into the grafted plant. So this is the mechanism of grafting. So always we have to remember two things here. The stalk, it is in the shape of V. The scion is in the shape of an arrow. Okay. So these two we have to remember. And stalk always have connection with root part. So the scion, it is aerial stem part. So in this way, if a stalk and scion are united, new plant will come. The desired characters are transferred, and what we want we can get from that new plant. So that is grafting. And nowadays most of the farmers are going for grafting. And rose, if we see many types of roses we can see, means the difference in colors, multicolored roses, bigger size roses, all this we can see. And coming to the fruits also, sweeter but larger mango, even the citrus. So like that we can see the examples of grafting: mango, citrus, apple, and even rose. So this is about the artificial propagation. So in the next video we will see about further more information regarding this chapter. Thank you.